Welcome to a special edition of the Pick Six podcast. I'm Josh Edwards, joined by Ryan Wilson and national champion, Butkus Award winner, and consensus All-American linebacker Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. Nakobe, does it ever get old to hear yourself described as a national champion?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I hope it never gets old. All the work we put in, everything we put in to get to that point and win that national championship. Not a lot of people get to do that. So I hope it never gets old.
So, Nakobe, let me ask you about this. I'm sure you've answered a ton of questions about it, and you mentioned it when we talked to you at the Combine as well. But mechanical engineer, I think you had a 3.5 GPA. Is that right?
I did.
That's about 2 full points higher than my GPA, but we don't need to talk about that. So how did you take that, the rigors of doing a lot of math and a lot of science, and how does that carry over to the football field in terms of being a leader, sort of being the quarterback on that defense, getting everyone aligned, and then knowing what you're supposed to do once the ball is snapped? Is there any sort of carryover? And if so, how did that work for you?
I feel like the biggest carryover is the study aspect of it. You know, I always had to work. I always had to study in school. Since I was like the sixth grade, I remember my first time studying because I never studied and it got hard. I was like, hold on, study for this test. So I've been studying since the sixth grade. So studying was normal to me, you know, being at home, trying to figure out, learn things. So I was able to basically football, when I got to high school and everything like that, I was able to add that to football, so to speak. It wasn't just learn and practice, learn from what the coaches teach you. You can teach yourself by watching film, getting different tendencies. In high school, I was a big YouTube guy when I needed linebacker drills and all this. Like I just YouTube it, find it, and if I like it and I feel like it'll help me, I work on it and things like that. So I feel like for the most part, it's the study aspect of school and football that helps me the most.
Yeah, so I would imagine your film preparation has taken you to the NFL. So are there any guys in the NFL that you like to study the most? Anybody that you feel is playing the game at a really high level right now?
Yeah, I study a lot of guys. I won't say that I slave over studying them over the guys just because I usually watch a lot of different types of film for like, well, during the season, of course, it's season film, but just like scheme and or technique wise and things like that. But guys like, I always like to say, I like to take like little bits and pieces of people games, like Darius Leonard, the way he punched the ball, Aaron Kendricks in zone coverage, Zach Cunningham, the way he play down here, take on blocks there, gets the run. You know, Roquan, the way he open field tackles and his passion effort to the ball. I always kind of point out those four because those be the main ones that I kind of look at.
I think it's interesting you mentioned Eric Kendricks there because it's hard to find any holes in your game, and you are so incredibly fun to watch, in part because of what we talked about in terms of how smart you are, but you always seem to be in the right place at the right time. You're not afraid to come downhill and take on an offensive lineman and obviously make plays in the run game. But you and Eric Kendricks are similar sized, and if you had to answer questions, perhaps when you talk to NFL teams, that you're not 6'2", 245, that you're only 5'11", 229, I think is what you were at the Combine. Is there any concerns about that in terms of durability? I mean, you never missed a game, but I know sometimes that's a media talking point when talking about you. But for me,
yeah, for me, it's no concern at all. I feel like everybody gonna blow it out of proportion just because it is what it is. But I've been hearing it my whole life ever since I started getting recruited in high school. I was hearing it. I remember my coach called me the other day. I didn't look into the stars and everything like that. I wasn't the type of person in high school, but he called me the other day and was reminding me like, look, man, because he kind of got a little irritated with people talking about how they don't know how successful I'll be because of my size. He just called me. He was reminding me that rivals. How he talked to the rivals dude and was like, why he ain't got his fifth star? He got fifth star everywhere else, but not rivals. He was like, he just didn't feel I was gonna be a successful middle linebacker in college. That's why he couldn't give me my fifth star because of my size. So I mean, I've been hearing it my whole life. It's nothing. For me, it's no problem. You know, I'm gonna take it in stride. It does nothing but makes the chip on my shoulder that I play with bigger and bigger.
Yeah, one thing that teams cannot say about you is that you have been inconsistent. Rather, I mean, you were a Butkus winner coming out of high school. You round out your collegiate career with a Butkus Award as well. So you went wire to wire as this top tier linebacker prospect. So what was it like for you to be able to end your career with such distinction? What does it mean for you to win the Butkus?
I mean, it means a lot. It points out of all the work that I put in, but also the work of my coaches, my teammates, pushing me and everything. So it's definitely not just an award that I won. It's an award that everybody who have had a part of my success in Georgia have won. So, but it's definitely being able to get the job done and win the championship and the national championship at Georgia. It's all those things put together are just things that we kind of was our goals coming in to Georgia. And I feel like for the most part, I was able to accomplish everything I set out to do at Georgia, other than graduate. But it was funny that I say that. Actually, I'm bringing this point up. It's off, but I made a list of like my goals for the season, and I had on the list it was like win the national championship, but winning the SEC championship wasn't on there. So my mama kind of she seen the list when she came to my room, and when we lost, she had to kind of remind me like, look, you ain't put it on your list, but y'all still got the opportunity to win a national championship. So that was doing that, being able to complete every goal that I put up there. It was definitely fulfilling for me.
It's funny you say that, Nico, because when we talked to you at the combine, you talked to just about every one of your teammates that were there on the defense side of the ball as well, and all of you said the day after that championship game, the SEC championship game, everyone was refocused at practice with one goal in mind. And obviously that goal that you had written down actually played out. I want to go back to the 2020 season, though, because there were two quarterbacks you faced, one that was a first-round pick and one that has a chance to be a first-round pick. I want you to tell me what the Georgia defensive scouting report was to slow those guys down. One was Mac Jones, obviously, at Alabama, and then the other is Desmond Ridder at Cincinnati, who's had a really good 2021 season. You guys faced him in the bowl game. Different type of players, but I was curious how you guys approach stopping those players.
So Mac Jones has so many different weapons. I mean, they had a Heisman Trophy winner at receiver, So it wasn't so much stop him to get him rattled. It was make sure we level, make sure that the rush goes along with the coverage, so to speak. So we had to make sure we knew that they had Waddle, they had Vontae Smith. We knew that those two guys that can take the top off the game. So we tried to handle it, tried our best, but it was kind of I feel like that week we went into more focusing on those receivers and those guys like that, other than focusing so much on Mac. We knew he had a nice touch on the ball. He real cerebral. He ran that offense, and he was basically like they swagger guy, if you ask me. Then of course, Desmond Ridder, he brought a little different aspect to the game, as being a little bit more mobile, being their playmaker guy. And you think for me personally, playing in the SEC, I used to watch SEC ball. So me, I didn't know nothing about him until we playing Cincinnati in the bowl game. And, being and watching what he do is like watching what he do, how he move, how he run the ball, how his team play. You see his team play for him and with him, and they seem like they love the way they play together. It was just they both brought different problems to solve during the when we played them, basically.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the talent on that Georgia defense, and I think it gets lost that each of you had to earn your spot on the field. I mean, there was a guy that was willing to step in and fulfill, your role if you were not able to. So what do you think that says about Georgia's culture, and how does that prepare you for the NFL?
Oh yeah, the coach at Georgia. One of the things that I liked, it was a business mentality. One of the reasons I chose to go to Georgia is all business, and it is a next man up mentality. If somebody goes down or somebody goes down or just not playing or not producing the way it is, and that's how it is at Georgia. It wasn't so much political to the point where it's like he was the best player in high school, so he got to play. So I feel like I feel like over these last 2 years it was more so glaringly, but the way we handle things at Georgia, I feel like it prepared us. Just the way we practice hard. It was all the guys we played against. I feel like got a chance to go to the league and be. I'm talking about in practice. All the guys who went against us in practice, I feel like most of them, not all the guys got a chance to go to the league and be successful. So I feel like you facing good competition day in and day out, and the way they run it, the way how business oriented it is, and how it wasn't. We didn't slack on the problems. I mean, slack on meeting time, being there on time. It was never a leeway to be there 1 or 2 minutes late. They held you accountable for everything, and I feel like doing that, having that at Georgia, gonna help us not only in the league but in life.
Yeah, you know who agrees with that? Jamari Sawyer and Justin Schaefer, because we talked to them at the combine, and they said it was not fun going up against you guys on that defense. And you're like sort of underselling it, talking about you guys were good. You guys were amazing, and I feel like that defense was so incredibly good. It got frustrating for me because I would watch you guys play just to get an idea of who's doing what. And you were so good, you only played 20 snaps a game. So you'd have to watch 5 or 6 games to get an idea of how good you were. But I mean, so you have Jordan Davis, Devonta Wyatt, Travon Walker, Channing Tindall, Quay Walker, Lewis Seen, Darian Kendrick. And we're not even talking about Jalen Carter because he's not coming out yet.
Right.
So take yourself out of it, Nakobe.
Right.
That group that I just mentioned, who all guys who are going to get drafted top 100, it feels like, and probably top 32. Who is the best athlete? Like if you're playing basketball, if you're playing basketball and it's 2-on-2, who you picking first?
Wait, no, you gotta now you said when you said athlete and then you went to basketball. Now we got somebody like Channing, freak athlete, fast, jump high, crazy athlete. But he can't play no basketball. He can't play no basketball. He's good. But Quay nice on the court. Trayvon, oh man, Trayvon. I almost forgot about Trayvon. Trayvon nice on the court. I think he had like D1 offers to play basketball.
I feel like I'm taking Jordan Davis. Like I think that's easy for me because I can't do anything. I'm just shooting threes. I just throw the ball to Jordan.
Yeah. But I think I had to take Trayvon though. Trayvon nice. I seen it up close. We pickup games we done had. So yeah.
Is there anything in particular you've seen from Trayvon or Jordan that kind of stands out to you? Because obviously we saw what they were capable of at the NFL Combine. So was there anything that you can think of during your time at Georgia that stands out to you?
I mean, other than how big they are,
Yeah.
But now, Jordan, I feel like it's a lot of, I feel like this process and everybody kind of looking at us like football players, which we are, but you kind of your personality kind of get lost in it. And I feel like a guy like Jordan got a lot of personality. He's a funny guy. If you just get a chance to know him and talk to him, I always said to myself that I can see him being like an actor one day or a comedian or a WWE wrestler if he wanted to. How big he is and how he move and how he can bring entertainment to the situation. And things like that. And man, Trayvon, I remember the first time I saw him, I'm thinking like he can scratch his knee standing straight up, how long his arms was and things like that. So other than being great athletes and great people on the field, they also great people off the field also.
As you go through this draft process, is there anything that you want teams to know about Nakobe Dean?
I mean, what they already don't know, because they did all type of research and asking people from my hometown and things like that. But just know I'm a winner. I'm gonna do whatever. Like I said it before. I do whatever, anything legal to win. I'm a winner, and my mindset. I feel like my mindset is second to none. It's unmatched, and I'm gonna work as hard as I can to be one of the greatest to ever do it.
So Nakobe, our producer Eric, is a huge Eagles fan, and he said right before he came on, he is trying to get Nakobe Dean to Philadelphia. They gave up one of their first round picks. They got 2 more, so maybe that'll be where you end up. I'm excited to watch you play at the next level. That's all I got. I want to get that little Eagles thing in there for Eric because I don't know if he would be able to do that.
Yeah, one thing that I've got before we get out of here, I would be leaving something on the table if I didn't ask you this, but who's next at Georgia? You know, we've been talking so much about the guys in this draft class. Ryan already mentioned Jalen Carter. Who is next at Georgia that fans should be familiar with as it relates to the draft?
On the defensive side of the ball, I have to say, of course, Nolan Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, besides not talking about Jalen Carter, because you asked me, he probably. But Trayvon they've been talking about him getting picked like crazy high. But Jalen Carter, he gonna be, if he do what he supposed to do this season, I feel like he gonna be a top 5 pick next year. But definitely Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. We got some younger guys who was freshmen last year who gonna be great this year for us too. Like Kamara Lassiter, Jamon, I call him. His nickname Pop. I was gonna say Pop, but y'all wasn't gonna know what that mean. Dumas Johnson, Smile Monday, guys like that, but we got a lot of guys. We got a lot of guys that y'all probably don't know about, or a lot of guys that forgot about that it's their time now to play. Definitely with a lot of voice and everybody picking up their game. I've been in a couple spring practices and everybody, you can tell they out there, they hungry. Everybody hungry. It's kind of newfound, definitely after winning the Natty. I feel like a lot of guys who probably older and wasn't getting a chance to play much kind of is a newfound, enthusiasm for the game, love for the game. You see they more motivated to get better and everything, and it's showing on the field.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff, man. I mean, we were excited to talk to you. I know Ryan had a chance to speak with you at the Combine, but I was excited to talk to you because, your passion for the game comes across on film. So very excited to get a chance to talk to you. But that's all we've got for today. Nakobe, we appreciate you taking the time, man. We wish you the best of luck, not only through the draft process, but throughout your NFL career. And, we will be watching very closely to see where you're taking on draft night.
Definitely. Thank y'all.